4:28. You see, he wasn't lying when he was raving on about Haruka's tits, alright? Morning's here. I haven't slept. Not even a wink. That's hardly surprising, considering the girl was sleeping in my bed all night. And on top of that, I touched said girl's body right before she went to sleep. There was no way I'd be able to get a good night's rest. I was so antsy that my eyes stayed wide open the whole night. It didn't help that I remembered more of what happened while I was being controlled. Specifically, I recalled a certain conversation.
着替え持ってきていないので、下着だけでも洗ってもいいでしょうか?
I told her to go ahead and mentioned that Sora always hangs her underwear up to dry in the bathroom too. After she'd taken a shower, she'd washed her underwear by hand. When I'd gone to the bathroom later, I'd seen her bra and panties hanging up to dry, which meant that right now, Senpai wasn't wearing anything underneath my shirt. Well, in the 18+ version, you can definitely tell that she wasn't wearing a bra, but, you know, because the all-ages version changed what she wore, you know, you couldn't tell. This is too much stimulation for my poor virgin brain. I know if I'd stayed in the same room as Senpai, I would have made a move on her for sure. I wouldn't have had the courage to go all the way, but I would have definitely pulled the covers back and stared at her boobs, maybe even copped a feel. Which is exactly why I'd spent the whole night in the kitchen. Occasionally I'd gone to the bathroom to stare at... I'd gone to the bathroom to stare at Senpai's underwear. I'd told myself dumb excuses like I was just checking to make sure it was drying properly, but I know the truth. I'm a pervert. I don't deserve to be around Kujo and the others. Hell, I don't deserve to be part of the Valhalla Society. Maybe I should have actually left after all. Wait, no, what am I thinking? Man, the lack of sleep is really getting to me. The exhaustion's starting to hit me now, too. There's no way I'm gonna be able to stay awake through my classes. Maybe I should call in sick. I hear some faint noises through the door. Senpai must have woken up. There's still a bit of time before school starts. If she's up, maybe I can recline my bed and get a little sleep. On second thought, that might not be such a good idea. Senpai slept in that bed. I'll probably try to sniff the sheets, or something stupid and wind up too horny to sleep. Let's forget about that and just see how she's doing. Now that she's awake, there's a few things I want to ask her. Yeah, mainly clarification on what she said last night. I mean, I don't really need the clarification because I understand exactly what she was saying, but you know, it'd be nice. When I open the door, Senpai looks simultaneously flustered and relieved to see me. Her expressions are a sight to behold.
おはようございます。
おはようございます。いなかったので、どこか出かけてるのかと。
ああ、いや、隣の部屋にいました。
隣の。ごめんなさい。私、床で寝るべきでした。ベッド使っちゃって。
いやいや、大丈夫です。
その。
Senpai looks away, her face red. She's probably thinking back to the things she said yesterday. After a dozen or so seconds of silence, Senpai suddenly looks up at me.
涼しく、本当に寝ちゃってごめんなさい。やっぱり帰りますね。
ああ、まだ時間ありますし、一旦帰った方がいいですね。授業の準備とかもありますし。
はい、ご迷惑をおかけして。
いえいえ、ちょっと待ってください。もう出てると思いますけど、始発の時間調べます。
始発？
はい、始発。もう朝ですよ。
Senpai finally notices the light filtering in through the curtains, and her face reddens again.
寝てたの2、3時間くらいだと。
がっつり10時間は寝てますね。
ごめんなさ
いえいえ、ほんと気にしないでください。腹減ってないですか？
いえ、あまり。
Right as she's about to deny it, her stomach growls and tears form in the corners of Senpai's eyes.
私、こんなのばっかり。
なんか持ってきます。って言ってもゼリー飲料くらいしかないですけど、10秒チャージの。
じゃあ、いいですか？いただいても。
OK っす。持ってきますね。ああ、お菓子もなんかあったっけな。
I return to the kitchen and start hunting through my refrigerator. I tried my best to act natural, so I hope Senpai hasn't noticed what a bundle of nerves I am. The whole time we were talking, I kept awkwardly looking away. And the only thing I could think about was the fact that Senpai is currently going commando. And no matter how hard I tried to stay focused on the conversation at hand, my mind kept going back to that one thing. It turns out drowsy and horny make for a terrible combination. Sighing, I pull a jelly pack and a bar of chocolate I don't remember buying out of the fridge. The chocolate is probably Sora's, but who cares? Right now we need fuel.
持ってきました。
ありがとうございます。
I take a seat in front of the table, and Senpai slides off the bed and to sit across from me. The way she's moving, it's like she doesn't care what parts of her I see. Have you forgotten you're not wearing any underwear? How can you be this oblivious?
ありがとうございます。いただきます。
ああ、はい。どうぞ。
Senpai starts sipping on the jelly drink while I open the chocolate bar's wrapper and plop a piece into my mouth. My heart's beating out of my chest. If Senpai changed back into her uniform, I'd probably be able to think straight, but I can't just ask her to. That's way too awkward. Also, even though this is extremely bad for my heart, I want to keep staring. I wanted to get another peek. Yeah, the luggage sleeve has completely short-circuited my brain. I think I'll call in sick after all.
はい。
I do my best to reply as calmly as possible. If I'm not careful, my true thoughts will start showing on my face.
昨日は本当にごめんなさい。
力がうまく使えないんですよね。
そうなんです。勝手に発動しちゃって、昨日も私の妄想が。
なんかその件については、俺も大変申し訳なく。
いえ、新見さんは、私といたしましては、非常に貴重な経験を。
Senpai makes a weird noise and falls silent.
どうしました？
私、失言が多いと言いますか、言わなくていいことばっかり言っちゃったり、昨日も性欲が強いとか、だからそれ言わなくていい。
At least you're self-aware. Senpai heaves a long sigh, annoyed by her own carelessness.
友達が少ないから、いえ、見栄はありました。友達が全くいないから、私、コミュ力がものすごく低くて、会話の組み立てがうまくできないんです。思いついたことをすぐ口に出すか、逆に喋れなくなっちゃうか、イライラさせちゃってごめんなさい。
いえ、全然イライラなんかしてませんよ、全く。
本当ですか？
はい。うちの妹とかクソうざくて話すたびにイライラしますけど、先輩は静かなトーンで話してくれるので、全く全然。
Senpai fidgets awkwardly. I've noticed she has a habit of wringing her hands whenever she's anxious. Each time she does that, her arms press against her boobs, emphasizing her cleavage. Senpai, I know you think I'm a harmless nice guy, but you're wrong. I've been ogling your boobs this whole time.
私。
はい。
Either Senpai hasn't noticed I've been checking her out throughout our conversation, or she doesn't care, since she's not bringing attention to it in any way.
男の人苦手で、新見さんにも最初は苦手意識があって、でも優しい人って分かって、だからこそ昨日のことを、妄想を暴走させちゃったこと、本当に恥ずかしくてやらかしちゃったっていっそ死にたくて。でも新見さんは私に怒らなくて、ごめんなさい、考えがまとまらなくて。とにかく私の一番ダメな部分を見られちゃって、逆に吹っ切れたというか、新見さんとなら私普通に話せそうです。ありがとうございます。
はい、こちらこそありがとうございます。
はい。
Senpai gives a cheerful smile. I've never seen her make a face like this before. So why exactly is she thanking me? She said she didn't have to worry about me, but I'm not quite sure what she means by that. But hey, if she's feeling better, that's all that matters. At any rate, it looks like I've managed to earn her trust. Though if she keeps smiling innocently at me like that, I feel like I'll end up doing something to betray her trust real quick. I should probably change the topic before I lose my self-control.
先輩の能力について詳しく聞いてもいいですか？
はい。何でも聞いてください。
考えたことは何でも現実になるんですか？
まだ私も完全に理解できていないんですが、不可能なことじゃなければ多分。
不可能なことじゃなければ。
はい。あと、私が現実化できるのは結果なんだと思います。結果に至る過程を細かくは制御できないと思います。多分。
結果を現実化する能力。言い換えると、望んだ未来を手に入れる力って感じなんでしょうか？
そうかもしれません。最初に私は少女漫画や乙女ゲームのヒロインみたいになりたいなって思って、
その結果たくさんの男子に言い寄られるようになったと。
はい。ちょっとすみません。
Senpai gets to her feet and starts rifling through the pockets on her uniform.
あれ、こっち。
She takes out a necklace.
すみません、話の途中で。
アーティファクトですか？
はい。フェスの日だったのでよく覚えてます。フェスから帰ったら私の部屋の机にこれがあって、その日からです。この力に振り回されちゃって、昨日も初めて男の子の部屋に来て興奮しちゃって、いろいろ妄想しちゃって。今の言わなくてよかった。
大丈夫です。聞かなかったことにします。
すみません。それではい、そんな感じでこのアーティファクトが私のところに来てから妄想した未来が現実に。
なるほど。その結果、その未来を実現するように周囲が行動すると。
はい。ある意味では魅了なのかもしれません。でも私が誰かに嫌われたいって思ったらそれも現実になるので。
精神操作、いや運命操作って表現の方がしっくりくるな。他人の運命すらも操作して望んだ未来を実現する力。
運命操作、かっこいい。
大げさな言葉ですけど名前負けしてませんよね。めちゃくちゃ強力な力だ。
はい、私もそう思います。だから少し怖くて、誰かを私の妄想に無意識に巻き込んでしまって。
制御できないのがネックですね。
もう一人の私は うまく使えているみたいなんですけど。
そうだ、それも聞きたかったんです。いや、聞いていいのかな。もう一人の先輩っていうのはアーティファクト関係ですよね。
はい、そうです。
Senpai suddenly realizes why I was so hesitant to ask, and she gets a little flustered.
確かに私、なりきり掲示板に出入りしてますけど、あれはそういうのじゃなくて、ちゃんと、はい、力です。なりきりとかじゃないです。
Right. So the chicken came first.
ああ、そっちで受け取ったのか。何でしたっけ、多重人格、乖離性なんとかとか。
病気でもないです。はい。
I don't even know why I said that. If I was comparing if I was using the same analogy as I did last time, then didn't I compare Haruka's other personality to the chicken instead of the artifact? Whatever. Either way, the artifact came first.
すみません、変な勘繰りしちゃって。
いえ自分でも完全に頭おかしい人だと思うので、すみません。
全然関係ないですけど。
はい。
先輩、慌てると早口になりますね。
すみません。
いえ、悪い意味じゃなくて、本当に俺に慣れてきてくれたんだなぁと。
興奮した時も早口になっちゃって、オタクっぽくて恥ずかしいです。
いやいや、全然普通ですよ。っていうか、そうだ、口調も普通でいいですよ。敬語とかなしで。
急には切り替えられないので、慣れてきたらお願いします。
そういえば、もう一人の先輩の方も口調丁寧ですよね。実はあっちが素だったりします？
違います。こっちが素です。彼女はちょっとキャラ付けを間違えたと言いますか。
キャラ付け？
ご存知の通り、私には妄想癖があって、アガスティアの葉のなりきり掲示板にも出入りしてまして。
The leaves of Agastya. So what you're saying is that it wasn't because it was Kakeru that you had those fantasies. It's because Kakeru was the first guy who talked to you? Sure, let's go with that. It's a fan site for the Mobius Ring Cycle of Reincarnation anime, and Takamine is the one who runs it. It's a role-playing heavy website where all the users pretend they exist within the anime's world. When we learned about it, we started investigating the forums in the hopes of finding a few real artifact users on the site, which was how we initially got our lead on Kusaka. On the site, Senpai goes by the username Queen of Eden.
オリキャラ、自分で作ったキャラが何人かいるんです。エデンの女王もその一人で、通学の時毎朝挨拶してくれる男の子がいるんです。その人もちょっと圧が強くて、私怖くて堂々としたいって思ったんです。でもとっさというか余裕がない状況で思い浮かんだのがエデンの女王で。
Or is it because it's Kakeru that she had that fantasy? Right? Because obviously there's a reason why she created that other personality. It's to interact with people. Right? But Kakeru is kind of like the exception to that, where she hasn't really switched to her other personality to talk to Kakeru, right? Not a single time in this episode. Even the first fucking interaction with them didn't result in her switching personality out of nervousness or whatever.
気づいたら 彼女が私の中に生まれていました。エデンの女王という妄想が現実になったんです。
ああ、そういうことか。先輩の力を他人じゃなくて自分に向けて自分自身を操ってる状態ってことですよね。
ああ、はい、そういうことだと思います。でも操っているというか、彼女は自立というか、私には制御できなくて。
完全に一つの人格として先輩の意思に関係なく行動していると。
です。はい。テンパるとつい変わっちゃうんですが、彼女は好きに力を使うので。
それで朝のあの光景ですか。
はい。そういうキャラなので仕方ないのですが、男の子に対してとても偉そうで、心の中でごめんなさいごめんなさいっていつも謝ってます。あ、でもいい子なんです。力を使うのも私の願望を叶えたいって気持ちもあって、でもちょっと勘違いというか、思い込みの強いところがあって、人のためって思い込んで逆に傷つけちゃうこともあるみたいな、未熟な女王様って設定なんです。たまにトラブルは起こしちゃうけど、でも周囲に慕われて。
Blushing, Senpai suddenly cuts herself off.
すみません、いきなりスイッチ入っちゃって。こういうところがオタクっぽいですよね。すみません。
謝らなくていいですよ。俺好きですし。人の話聞くの。
ですよね。はい。ごめんなさい、私。本当にコミュ力低くて。お家以外でこんなに話したの、久しぶりです。
うちでは結構話すんですか？
結構ではないんですけど。
大丈夫ですか？
話しすぎて、ちょっと喉が。
弱っ。
すみません。この通り、あまり話さないです。
あ、いや、すみません。つい突っ込んじゃって。
I am curious as to what would happen if Haruka overused her powers, right? I mean, we didn't really get to see what happened with Miyako, and we did with Sora, so it's kind of 50-50 on if we do or don't get to see what happens if she overuses her powers, but I'm feeling like a Kamidare situation, right? Where she already created another personality to talk to guys, but like, what if she created another personality which basically thought they were God and were able to act like a god and create whatever the fuck they want, right? Or something like that, right? Something of a world-ending phenomenon situation kind of thing. And I don't think it'd go that far, but you know, it sort of depends on what the limit of her powers are, right?
どうしました？
こういう会話、いつも頭の中でしてたので、なんだか楽しくて。ああ、人と話してるんだなーって。ごめんなさい。私、本当に気持ち悪いですね。ごめんなさい。
お互い、謝るのやめましょうか。俺もあまり遠慮しないようにします。
はい。努力します。
まだ聞きたいことはあるんですけど、とりあえず今は朝飯食いましょうか。手止まっちゃってますし。
はい。いただきます。
ああ、がっつり食べたいならコンビニでも行きますか？
いえ。これだけで十分です。朝はあまり食べなくて。
俺もです。
料理とかできたらいいんですけど、私全然できなくて。
なんです？
私、ずっとこのシャツ。
ああ、今ですか。今恥ずかしくなりましたか。
払ってお返しします。
I'm just gonna say, I am not going through this again in the 18 plus version just for her to be in Kakeru's shirt the whole just for her to be in Kakeru's shirt in the Patreon version, alright? it's gonna be the same.
いえいえ、いいですいいです。
It made sense the first time around because it also led into a semi-H scene. It definitely was a raunchy CG, so it made sense then, but not now.
いいですから気にしないで。
はい、わかりました。ありがとうございます。
Well, Senpai bows her head. She's probably thinking I don't want her to go through all the trouble or something. But she's wrong. Absolutely wrong. I just think it'd be a waste to wash a shirt that's been in contact with a girl's supple bare skin. I don't care if you call me perverted. There's no saving me now, so I may as well double down. When I get home today, I'm gonna dive straight into my bed. And then I'm gonna hug the shirt Senpai was wearing and take a deep whiff of her scent on my pillow. I would let anyone take this joy away from me. However...
洗うのはほんと必要ないんですが。
はい。
割と刺激が強いので着替えた方がいいかもですね。
かもですか。
はい。
Why do you look so disappointed? Man, I really don't get Senpai.
いや抵抗ないならどうぞ。
はい、ありがとうございます。こんな経験もうできないと思うので、高額のために。
Come in handy for what? I decided not to say that out loud. I'm sure Senpai has her reasons. Just like I have my reasons for not wanting her to wash that shirt. Considering how many dirty thoughts are running through my head, it wouldn't be that surprising if Senpai was thinking something similar. Well, it was her fantasy that made you this way.
なんか先輩結構愉快な人ですね。
そうですか？
はい。気が合いそうな気がします。
初めて言われました。ありがとうございます。
Thank God they feel that way, because it'd be really awkward if they didn't think they'd get along.
これからよろしくお願いします。
はい。よろしくお願いします。
We bow to each other a few times, then return to our breakfast for real. Oh, what little breakfast you have? That long conversation was just what we needed. And thanks to her current appearance, I'm still a little tense around Senpai, but there's no doubt I'm more comfortable than I was before. I'm also certain she's not secretly trying to trick me or anything now. And to top it off, I've learned a lot about her power. Though she has some trouble controlling it, if we use it correctly, we should have no problem finding evidence regarding the identity of the Evil Eye's user. When I first came up with the plan of infiltrating Rick Vader, I was worried it'd backfire on me immediately, but now I've got an idea of how to make it all work. As long as I work together with Senpai, we can do this. Sometime before school starts, the two of us leave the apartment. I'm later in leaving than usual because my sleepiness made me sluggish in getting ready, but in the end I decided to go to school after all.
すみません。急ぎましょうか。忘れ物しました？
いえ、手とか
Yes.
繋いだ方がいいでしょうか？
I mean, yes. I mean, never mind.
つなぐ手を？
はい。ゴーストさんや高峰くんがどこで見ているかわからないので。
Oh, right. I forgot it was just for the act, you know? Fuck. I mean... I totally forgot we were practicing to be a couple, even though that's why Senpai ended up staying over in the first place. Holding hands, huh? Holy shit.
じゃあつなぎますか。
Senpai holds out her hand and I grab it. She gives me a weird look.
あれつなぐんですよね。
こっちのつなぎ方の方が。
Now that's what a real couple would do. She shakes her hand off, then interlaces her fingers with mine. Oh, so this is how lovers hold hands. Oh God, this is embarrassing.
じゃあ行きますか。
はい。
The two of us awkwardly set off, our fingers firmly locked. Senpai is unexpectedly assertive when it comes to things like this. Or maybe she... oh, fuck. Or maybe she just wants to make sure our couple act is airtight. That might be it. Yeah, sure, definitely. And it's definitely not for any other reason why she wants to hold hands with you. It's because she wants to keep up the act. Yeah, that's why she's just being extra cautious. She's probably just worried our cover will be blown, and I'll be put in danger if she doesn't play her part properly, her part perfectly. Listen, all I'm saying is, you semi-show that you're a couple to the point where Ghost doesn't believe you, and then see this is for Haruka, right? Because Kakeru's dense and doesn't realize Haruka actually likes him, because and that's why she had that fantasy about him. But you get Ghost to be suspicious about your love for each other, and then to prove that you really love each other, you kiss in front of her. You kiss in front of Ghost. It's perfect. It's the best way to it's the best way to show Ghost definitively that the two of them are dating without them having to hold hands all the time. I'm just thinking in the long term, right? Haruka needs to think in the long term too. But despite knowing that, I'm having a hard time not getting my hopes up. My goal is to find concrete evidence proving that Ghost is the Evil Eye's user, and capture her before there's any more victims. I need to stay focused, or someone else might end up petrified. We don't say much on the way to school. I know I need to stay focused on my goal and avoid distractions, but I can't help but be hyper aware of everyone's eyes on us. Actually, there's probably no one staring at us. I doubt most people are even taking notice of Senpai and me. But knowing that doesn't stop me from feeling like strangers' eyes are boring into my back. I never knew holding hands with a girl in public could be so embarrassing. I'm not sure my heart can take much more of this. Senpai tugs on my hand. For a second, I'm worried I accidentally started walking too fast due to my embarrassment, but it looks like that's not it.
今気がついたんですが、
She shows me her phone screen.
高峰くんからメッセージが届いていて、今日みんなで集まりたいって。
みんなでってことは俺も含めてですよね。
はい。新見さんのコードネームを決めたいそうです。
ああ、そんなこと言ってたな。
I hope it isn't something cringy, alright? Honestly, I'd rather not have a code name at all, but if I want to fit in, I guess it's better to let him give me one.
放課後ですよね。
はい。駅前に集合だそうです。
了解です。
私たちは一緒に行った方がいいですよね。
ああ、そうですね。じゃあ授業終わったら、そうだな。また中庭集合にしますか。
わかりました。
Senpai nods and squeezes my hand a little tighter. Though I keep my expression neutral, my heart skips a beat. Stay calm, Kakeru. Cool as a cucumber. Thank God Sora's not here. She'd tease the shit out of me if she saw this. Or she is seeing this, and she's super jealous and doesn't want to approach you. It's one of the two. One of the two. On a related note, I told Sora and Kujo to stay away from me as much as possible for the time being. They're also supposed to treat me with disdain if we do happen to run into each other. Well, with how you're treating Haruka, it won't be that hard for Sora. Rick Vader saw Yuki denounce me as a traitor, so it would look weird if I was on good terms with any of my former comrades. Until I have my proof, I have to continue playing the role of the turncoat. When we reached the school gates, we let go of each other's hands. It would attract too much attention if we kept holding hands, especially since the teachers are watching.
ありがとうございました。いい経験になりました。
え？
私なんかと手をつないでくれて。
いや、こちらこそ、ありがとうございます。
With that nonsensical exchange, we head for the main school building. It was cute the way she said she appreciated me holding hands with someone like her. She usually has such low self-esteem, but then she'll suddenly be really assertive about something. I guess I still don't understand Senpai all that well.
じゃあ、放課後に。
はい。放課後に。
I watched Senpai go up to the third floor, then head to my classroom. The moment I walk inside, I spot Kujo.
新見くん、おはい。
No, I knew she would. I knew she'd be like this. She's too nice. She stops midway through her greeting and turns her back to me. It looks like she remembered she can't be seen acting friendly toward me. Even though I can't see her face, I can tell from her body language that she feels bad about ignoring me. That's so like her. I suppressed the smile threatening to creep up my face, and walk to my seat. As I sit down, I notice someone staring at me and look up. Listen, Yoichi, I know your game. I don't know exactly what you're going to be doing in during this timeline, but I don't have a good feeling. I didn't have a good feeling about this. All right, Yoichi's watching me from the classroom entrance. Normally, he cheerfully greets everyone while going to his seat, but today he makes a beeline straight for me without saying a word to anyone else.
ちょっとかけるさん。
なんだよ。
見ましたよ。僕見ちゃいましたよ。あなたが女子と手をつないで歩いてるところ。
Oh, so it wasn't Sora spying on them, it was Yoichi. Not sus at all. It's just because he just happened to see them holding hands and wasn't spying on him for any other reason other than it's because they're just friends, right? It was just a coincidence. Of all people who could have seen us, why'd it have to be the class blabbermouth? Yoichi loves gossiping about people's relationships, so he's the last person I wanted knowing about me and Senpai.
何なの彼女？
まあ、そういうことになるんかな。
何その答え方。ムカつく。
何がだよ。普通に答えただけだろ。
もうこれだよ。彼女できた途端これだよ。彼女持ちの余裕ってやつ出してきたよ。
別に出してねえだろ。なんだよ。うざい絡み方すんなよ。
嫌だね。まだ聞きたいことがあるんですよ、君には。
I mean, I don't think he was that high and mighty when he dated Miyako in episode 1, so, you know.
なんだよ。
見てましたよ。さっきの九条さんとのやりとりも。
ああ。
君、もっとうまくやりなさいよ。
何を？
同時進行してたんでしょ？んで、手繋いでたことうまくいったから、九条さんを捨てたんでしょ？最低だね、かける。
いや、ねえから、そんな事実ねえから。
でも変だったじゃん、九条さんの態度。
そりゃ、まあ、あれだよ。喧嘩だよ、喧嘩。
かけるがひどいことしたんでしょ？
だからしてねえって。
見損なったよ、かけるのこと。
いや、だからちげえって。
ちゃんと僕に相談しなさいよ。そうしたらバレずに二人とうまくやる方法伝授してあげたのに。
いらねえよ、そんな方法。
気をつけなよ。刺されないように
お前人の話聞かねえな。全く聞いてねえな。
事実かどうかはどうでもいいんだよ。あれ見たらみんながそう考えるってこと。
みんなってお前だけだろ。
そうかな。
Yoichi looks over his shoulder, and I follow his gaze. Kujo's friends are all glaring at me. Kujo herself seems to be at a loss on how to handle the situation.
ね。
マジかよ。俺二股かけてたと思われてんのか。
まあ僕が騒いだせいだと思うけど。
だよな、お前のせいだよな。
大丈夫大丈夫、ちゃんと誤解は解いておくから。
本当だな。
うん。
おい、返事をしろ。無言で笑うのやめろ。
ねえみんな聞いて。
It's crazy how, where is it? This face will have a completely different meaning to it eventually. I don't see it happening anytime soon, right? But eventually, at least in episode 3. All right, I don't think they're gonna wait until episode 4 to reveal it to Kakeru that Yoichi is the villain, a villain, one of them. Definitely more of a villain than Ghost and Takamine. Renya.
Oh, Yoichi! Oi!
Yoichi ignores me and goes to join Kujo's circle of friends. He's totally spreading a bunch of bullshit, isn't he? He wants to tank my reputation among my classmates. I never thought my plan to infiltrate Rick Vader would bite me in the ass like this. And Kujo turns back to me, her expression conflicted. Looks like the rumors are taking root already. And then again, if the whole school starts talking about how I broke Kujo's heart, it'll probably make my betrayal more credible. There's a silver lining in this, but at this rate, I may become the school pariah before I manage to catch the evil eyes user. Class is finally over. Man, that was rough. The whole day I could feel the girls in the class giving me cold looks. I got a text from Sora telling me that rumors are spreading among the first years that some second year playboy broke the air of the Corona group's heart, and judging by the tone of the text, she seems to be having a lot of fun at my expense. Anyway, chances are the third years have probably heard the story by now as well. Kujo did her best to dispel the misunderstanding, but the more she tried to defend me, the more people became convinced she was just too nice, and that I was the scum of the earth. Well, it's not like I care that much about my public image. I text Kujo, you don't need to deny the rumors. Let's use them to our advantage instead. She agrees, though it's clear her apologetic tone. Yeah, from her apologetic why can't I say the word? It's clear from her apologetic tone that she still feels bad. Frankly, that's enough for me. Sora, on the other hand, seems a bit too eager to drag my reputation through the mud. I'm definitely going to get her back for this someday. I mean, technically this is getting back at her by dating someone else. I spot Senpai the moment I reach the courtyard. When she sees me, she puts away the book she was reading and gets to her feet.
すみません、遅くなっちゃって。
いえ、大丈夫です。本を読んでたので。こういう時、今来たところですっていうのが正解ですよね。すみません、私失言多くて。
いやいや、そんなの失言に入らないですよ。自然に話してくれればいいですから。
はい。ありがとうございます。
っていうか、謝らなきゃいけないのは俺の方かもですね。
はい？
ちょっと変な噂が流れちゃいまして。先輩を巻き込むかもっていうか、もう巻き込んでるか。
噂ですか？
俺が先輩と九条を二股かけていたっていう。
Here's the thing, right? I can guarantee that this is an intentional. This is intentional. This is very intentional. On what am I saying? This is a very intentional thing for Yoichi to do. Yeah, let's go with that. What am I trying to say? Basically, Yoichi was spreading the rumors with malicious intent. Malicious intent, you know, instead of what Kakeru thinks, which is a joke, very intentionally meant to ruin his reputation. Cool, let's go with that.
3年の方にももう広まってますか？
いいえ、どうなんでしょう。私、友達いないので、噂とかそういうのわからなくて。
ああ。
I totally stepped on a landmine there, didn't I? My bad. Seeing my reaction, Senpai hurriedly waves her hands in denial. She's probably thinking she shouldn't have said that right about now.
友達いないのは、私がコミュ障なのもあるんですが、自分から目立とうとしていないだけで、空気みたいな存在なので、決して、今はいじめられたりはしてないので。
今は？
小学生の時は、ちょっと。
なんかすみません。
いえ、今は本当に何もないんです。自分から、目立たないように気配を殺してるので。
わざわざ力を使って目立たないようにしてるんですか？
いえ、普通に。自然としてれば、誰も私のことなんて気に留めないので。
Shit. I keep saying all the wrong things.
でも、そうですね。力も関係あるのかも。毎朝私がちょっと騒がしくさせちゃうんですが。
学年の人たち全員から出迎えられるって。
知ってるんですか？
すみません。妹が先輩のこと調べたことがあって。
そうなんですね。恥ずかしい。
Senpai covers her blushing face with her hands.
もう一人の私は女王として振る舞うので、力を使ってあんなことに。
According to Sora. Fuck. Holy crap. This is like a royal possession or something. A procession or something. This is not just some hyper-popular girl. Like, all the druids are seriously treating her like a goddess. I don't know what voice I'm trying to give her. That's how her classmates acted around her. I can't really blame Senpai for being embarrassed, since Sora saw her when she was basically role-playing an empress. Though, that reminds me, Sora mentioned something like something else interesting in her report back then.
能力を解除すると、先輩のことを全く気にしなくなるんでしたっけ？
そうなんです。もう一人の私の振る舞いがなかったみたいに。だから、私が無意識に私を空気扱いするように力を使っているのかなと。
もしくは記憶がないのかもしれませんね。
能力の影響下にいる間のですか？
はい、九条の力がそうなんです。ざっくり言うと、能力に合わせて記憶が改ざんされたり消えたり。
Yeah,
先輩のもそうかもしれませんね。
I was gonna compare that to Kujo's powers too, but then also the sort of presence concealment is very Sora's powers.
でも、新見さんはありますよね。記憶、昨夜の。
そういえばそうですね。ユーザーだと記憶は消えないんかな。あるいはユーザー関係なく記憶が残る人がいる？
Is it? Interesting question. Is it more of a specific thing? Right? Like, when she uses her powers on her classmates, I don't think she's specifically using them on each and every one. right? Maybe she is, and she's exerting more power than she actually needs to. But when it comes to Kakeru, he was the main focus of her powers, right? I don't know that every fucking theory I've had has been wrong, so this is also probably wrong.
いるんですか、そんな人。
いや、仮ですよ。もしもの話。
もし覚えてる人がいたら恥ずかしすぎて死ぬしかないです。
消えてる。記憶消えてる。そういうことにしましょう。俺だけ例外ってことにそうしましょう。
はい。ですわなんて言ってるから変なあだ名つけられちゃう。
Who knows? Maybe it's something as simple as just Haruko decides subconsciously whether she wants the person to remember what she did to them, you know, or something. Wait, that's what you're worried about? Regardless of their memories, if their memories aren't being erased, that would mean it's Senpai's power that's making everyone ignore her. In other words, she can do something similar to Sora's presence manipulation. See, we're on the same page. He was comparing Haruka's powers to Kakeru to Miyako, and now is comparing it to Sora. See, same wavelength. Even though it's pretty obvious why they mentioned those two things, and then made direct comparisons to Miyako and Sora's powers. Actually, people can spot Sora if they concentrate, so strictly speaking, Senpai's powers would be stronger, as well as more versatile, since she can do a bunch of other things with it. For the sake of Sora's pride as well, I hope people don't retain their memories of the time they spent under Senpai's control. Wait, you know what? Fuck Sora's pride. She's been laughing at my misfortune, so I may as well gloat about how Senpai's powers are way stronger than hers.
そろそろ。
そうですね。すみません、話し込んじゃって。
いえ、楽しいですから。じゃあ、
Senpai bashfully holds a hand out toward me. That's right, we're supposed to be holding hands.
行きましょうか。
はい。
I gently take her hand and wrap my fingers around hers. I hope we can stop the evil eyes user soon. Pretending to be a couple is more mentally taxing than I expected, and that's why you should stop pretending and become a real couple. Soon, alright? Soon, it'll happen.
仲良く手をつないで歩いていきましたが、あれ必要なんですかね。成り行きで恋人の演技することになったって話だし、いつどこで見られるかわからないから必要なんじゃないかな。
Listen, if you really thought that, you wouldn't be spying on him. Well, you know, maybe they can. I don't know. Maybe. What am I saying? What am I trying to say? Look, there's a reason why. The reason why he didn't want Miyako and Sora to be with him when he talked to Haruka the first time made sense, because it would be weird for them to be talking to each other while Kakeru was also actively betraying Valhalla. So maybe they can use the excuse that Miyako and Sora is just spying on Kakeru, right? Who knows?
なんかちょっと機嫌悪いです？そう見える？普通だけれど。ならいいですけど。いやでも演技ね。演技っすかあれ。あのクソ兄貴普通に照れてますよ、普通に。そうだね。初々しくて本当に恋人同士みたいに見えたね。やっぱ機嫌悪くないです？そう？なんでだろう。いつも通りのつもりなんだけれど。 そんなに変な顔してる？
クソ兄貴め、めっちゃムカついてきた。
私のせい？ごめんね。
違います。全方位にいい顔してるあの野郎にムカついてるだけです。まあうまくやるんじゃないっすかね。手伝えることもないし、帰りましょう。
機嫌悪い？
Takamine and Ghost are already waiting for us when we arrive at the station. When he spots us, Takamine spreads his arms wide and walks over.
来たな。遅かったじゃないか。
悪い。俺のクラスのホームルームが長引いたんだ。
そうか。そういった事態を考慮に入れるべきだったな。集合時間が早すぎたようだ。こちらこそすまないな。
いや、
I wasn't expecting him to apologize. Despite his bombastic demeanor, he's a surprisingly reasonable and considerate guy. He even probably disposed of the gum Ghost spat on the ground last time. The more I think about it, the more I'm starting to believe he's actually a good person. He probably just said he's willing to condone murder back then as part of his edgelord act. I have a hard time believing he really meant it. But that doesn't mean I can't afford to let my guard down. He hasn't done enough to earn my trust completely yet. So long as he's Ghost's comrade, I need to stay wary of him. As for Ghost herself, well, she doesn't seem the least bit interested in me. She's looking in the distance, quietly chewing her gum. Unlike the rest of us, she isn't wearing her school uniform. Did she change out of it to keep us from figuring out which school she goes to? Or did she not even go to school in the first place? Takamina's info was easy enough to get a hold of, but Ghost is still shrouded in mystery.
ところで、
Senpai lets go of my arm as she breaks the silence.
かける様のコードネームを決定するとのことですが、どちらで？
案内しよう。うってつけの場所がある。
まさかてめえんちじゃねえだろうな。
安心しろ。もっと広くて落ち着ける場所だ。
It better not be the shrine.
まあ、楽しみですわね。ね、かける様。
はいですね。
では、ついてきたまえ。
Takamine turns on his heel and walks away. Sighing, Ghost follows after him.
行きましょう、かける様。
はい。
差し出がましいようですが、十分にご注意を。かける様の目、仲間に向けるものではありませんでしたわ。
すみません。気をつけます。
Smiling, Senpai grabs hold of my arm again.
では、
はい。
We follow after Takamine and Ghost. The way I looked at them, huh? I didn't do a very good job at concealing my wariness, it seems. Whoops. Senpai's right. I need to be more careful. I have to hide my suspicions and talk to the two of them like they're my friends. Alright, let's do this.